Hey there, friends. Welcome to your weekly energy update. So happy to be with you right now. If you've been enjoying my readings, you should check out some of the other stuff that I'm up to in the links below. I finally figured out how to get my foundations course organized around this busy schedule of this particular year. So you'll be hearing more about that soon. Very excited about that. A great way to get into the deep work of transformation, which requires a really healthy foundation. So, let's take a look at our week ahead. This could be a little bit of a tricky one because there's an element of disillusionment, healthy disillusionment, where we recognize that something that we've been fantasizing about or something that we've sort of been projecting our ideals onto is going to get tumbled a little bit. And that can always be painful when we sort of come to terms with certain realities or we recognize that something isn't what it appeared to be. That can be kind of painful. But there's a nugget of greater like ground, greater balance, greater sense of your true self that comes out as a result of it. So bear with me and bear with this week that's coming forward. There are really good things. It's just got a little bit of that, okay, now I'm really seeing what's going on, or wow, now I really see that I've been looking at something in the wrong way. So let's start with our first card, which is our Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles can have this sense of having to juggle lots of things. Obviously, you can see him. It's a card of like dynamism and movement. So you might have a lot of moving pieces that are happening early in the week, having to put your attention here and then needing to move it over here. The advice is to stay adaptive, stay fluid. Listen to your instincts. You might be like, oh, I really have to get this done, but for some reason you know that you need to put your attention somewhere else. Listen to those calls. That might be something like, ooh, my boss needs me to do this, but gosh, I know I need to write this particular piece down. It's just really important, I can tell. Listening to those instincts. And the reason that I'm saying that is that we're being clarified with this first card through the Wheel of Fortune. And this can mean that there can be like a big blessing that comes into our life or a curveball of some kind, something that can feel a bit like a karmic gift or a gift from the universe. Now, this could be a new opportunity. It could be a chance meeting with someone. It could be something like a bonus or who knows, an amazing conversation that sparks a new interest inside of you. And you're going to need to be flexible enough to respond to it. It's like when you're driving down the street and for some reason you're like, I don't know why, but I'm going to take a right. Even though usually I go straight here, and you take that right, and then you see somebody from your old high school or whatever, something magical like that is possible. And whatever that happens to be, it's probably going to touch a part of your understanding of what family, love, equanimity is. It's going to remind you of something that you have either forgotten about what it means to be really seen in life or really in a good relationship or just feeling really joyful, inspired. Something is going to show up and it's going to remind you like, right, this is what life is about, or this is what I was so touched by when I was younger. Now, the tricky thing about that is sometimes when we get a blessing from life, something comes in and opens our heart up, or something comes in and reminds us of an old passion that we had or an old interest that we had. It can sometimes begin to jostle the structure that we've built around ourselves in our life. So an example would be we used to really love photography, but it used to just really excite us, or it used to do something really special. And then as we went along, somebody said, you can't make money doing that. Or we got distracted in some way, we got lost in a relationship, or who knows. And you decided to go into a different career slot. And even though photography just had a very soulful quality to it, you kind of left it in the past. Well, something might come in this week that would remind you of something like that that used to be really important to you. And it might force you to look around and go, what am I doing? Like, why haven't I included this really important thing in my life? Or it can be something like a person from your past or a kind of connection that reminds you what it feels like to really be seen. And then you go, gosh, the relationships in my life really aren't nourishing me in the ways that I want them to. So these are just examples, but it's important to note that there could be a blessing that comes in that ends up sort of destabilizing things a little bit. As a result, there can be a little bit of sorrow, some hopelessness, a sense of like, ooh, I've been going a little bit in the wrong direction somewhere, or I've invested a lot of time and energy into things that aren't really who I am. And that can be kind of painful. It can create some sadness, some depression. You might tap into a ancestral quality, by which I mean you hold this in your life in some way and someone in your family line holds this in some way, and someone beyond that holds it in some way, something that you and your ancestors are working through, and it can feel a little overwhelming. So I want to invite you not to make it overly personal. It's not just about you, it's something that you're part of working through. The good thing is that this breakdown that's happening, this destabilization, this sort of restructuring that's happening is ultimately going to give you a different sense of ground, a different sense of self, a kind of stability that is definite, a kind of stability that is unshakable. And often that means that we have to break down the things that we built on top of some false ground so that we can then land a little bit deeper on ourselves and deeper in our life. This is a great week to do some journaling about what really excites and inspires you. This is a great week to be curious about where in your life are you holding back or holding on to the side of the river while the river's trying to take you somewhere, and feeling some of the feelings around what it means to begin to move towards the things that really are important and are for you in this lifetime. All right. Thanks so much for tuning in. I look forward to connecting again next week. Take good care.